everybody. My name is Colton from Zimtu Capital. Today I'm sitting down with Commerce Resources President Chris Grove. Thanks for joining.
My pleasure, Colton.
So we spoke with you a few months ago. What's Commerce been up to since then?
Since then, we've had 4 news releases out, all on drill assays from the Ashram rare earth element and fluorspar deposit. And these are all excellent results, including an intersection of over 300 meters of better than 2% rare earth elements. That's an incredibly long, well-mineralized drill result. In addition, though, one of the things that is special about the Ashram is that we have one of the highest distributions of what is most important to the rare earth element market, which is dominated by the production of permanent magnets, in that the Ashram has a very high percentage of the magnet feed rare earth elements. And so all of the intersections from last summer's drilling program have a percentage of neodymium, praseodymium in the plus 21%, and that is very significant. And really nobody else out there has results of that length and of that kind of mineralization in, again, what the market actually wants.
Now, we all know the situation in Ukraine. Does that affect the rare earth element situation at all?
The situation, the war in the Ukraine affects the rare earth elements in a significant, fundamental way, primarily more psychologically in terms of countries and companies wanting to make sure that they have a stable source of all resources. But in specifics, in terms of the rare earth element industry, Russia produces somewhat less than 10% of the world's supply of rare earth elements. And so the processors that are currently being supplied by these Russian companies, arguably, they're also looking harder at new sources of rare earth element feedstock.
So what other dynamics affect the RE market?
Right now, there is no commodity that really is seeing such ongoing increased demand as are rare earth elements. However, at this time, the market isn't necessarily recognizing that. But the global demand for rare earth elements has more than doubled in the last 10 years. And the prices for 3 of the 4 rare earth elements used in permanent magnet manufacture, those 3 have better than tripled in the last 5 or 6 years. And that's incredible price movement. I mean, if you think about that kind of percentage in gold, the streets would be flowing with champagne because gold would be at something around $6,000 per ounce. But we know that is not the case. Gold is actually back to where it was at its height in 2011. But rare earth elements are like 3 times higher than they were as we use them in our PEA in 2012.
And so I guess there must be an update there in the economic side of things from Commerce's point of view.
Yes. We have been working for about a year now on our pre-feasibility study, and that will ideally be released later this year. Late Q3, early Q4 is our target. And we're hopeful that we can accomplish that. In terms of the unknown factor, which is an ongoing backlog at the assay labs, which actually affects everything we do. But considering the global dynamics right now, which is continued increased demand for rare earth elements against major issues on the supply side, we certainly think it is a very good opportunity for us to continue to release news and get this pre-feasibility study out this year.
So what else can people expect with the developments for Commerce?
Well, what we're also working on right now is the production of samples for industry majors, and we're very excited about that. It's been much slower and delayed due to the backlog at the assay labs, as I previously mentioned, but we're very excited about the proximity of the production of those samples, which arguably should be in the next 4 weeks or so.
Go ahead.
Oh, besides that, I was just going to say that we have we are also involved in several different optimization programs, primarily funded by Canada and Quebec. And we're very fortunate in that regard. In January, we announced our participation in a provincially funded program, which has about $1.4 million directed towards it for the optimization of rare earth element projects. And as well, we're currently involved with the federally funded rare earth element optimization program, which has the budget of $58 million for the next couple of years. So we're very fortunate in that these groups want to work with our Ashram project.
Well, it's great that governments are jumping on board, and I think the public is also starting to understand the rare earth market a little bit more than normal, just with the electrification of everything and needing them for batteries in electric vehicles. Now, for most of this, we're talking about your ashram project, but you do have another project, the tantalum project. Maybe you can tell us about that.
Sure. The positive economics we released in 2011, the update to the resource in 2012, etc., the optimization of the hydrometallurgy for that project in years following that, all of that is very positive work. We weren't successful with securing an industry partner so far as yet. But as the world changes, the global market for tantalum continues to be demand in excess of, say, 2 million pounds of tantalum per year, which underscores essentially all electronics production, since tantalum is essential for semiconductors, microchips, and especially electronic capacitors. So that demand doesn't change very much. But on the supply side, there's been a huge hit globally because of the dominant source of supply being deposits in Central Africa. Production amounts have been falling there for about 4 or 5 years now. So very interestingly, we've received a significant increase of industry interest in our Blue River Tantalum project, and we're very happy about that.
Great. Well, it sounds there's a lot of updates coming for Commerce Resources in the next year here. Is there anything else you wanted to leave on?
I would just like to say that, historically, the market has recognized the need for rare earth elements better than it is right now. The market right now, as the market can do, it can oversell some things, and arguably rare earth elements have been somewhat oversold, I would say. Whereas oil and gas producers are maybe in an overbought position right now. So as the world continues to transition to a lower fossil fuel dependent future, I am hoping and fully expecting actually, the market will respond very appropriately to this continued increased demand for rare earth elements, as rare earth elements are so essential for the greening of the world.
Well, we hope and expect the same thing. Thanks for coming on, Chris.
My
and
pleasure.
If you need to reach out to him, you can reach him at his email address. We'll put it in the description below. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.